The news you can count on. Mayport to Ponte Vedra Beach. The Island Times News Update begins right now. Here's Tom Patton.
Welcome to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. The City of Atlantic Beach has given preliminary approval to the site plan for the Gate Petroleum convenience store and gas station planned for 535 Atlantic Boulevard next to Beach Diner. The next steps in the process are approval of a building plan and issuance of a building permit. The city has not yet made a determination as to the hours of operation of the convenience store or the proposed use. According to city documents, a determination will be made when the applicant seeks the city's signature on its state alcohol license. Be aware that the city may require the proposed use to close between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. as required by the city's code for establishments that sell or serve alcohol. During construction, the Beach Diner will have access to the required 19 on-site parking spaces, its loading zone, and full use of its facilities before, during, and after construction. Again, according to the city documents, if there's an interruption to the Beach Diner, a stop work order may be issued, the city said. Many residents had implored the City Commission to let the Community Development Board review the proposal, but since Gate was not asking for any variances and the store is allowed under the zoning, that did not happen. Mayor Mitch Reeves said sometimes you just have to make hard choices. No firm timeline for demolition of the existing structure or construction of the convenience store has been established. The Atlantic Beach City Commission Monday night took the first step toward what could eventually become a 23-unit rental townhome community on Aquatic Drive on Atlantic Boulevard. The parcel currently is a wooded area adjacent to the city's dog park and stormwater retention pond. The developer is Tribridge Residential, which recently completed the apartment complex in Jacksonville Beach on the former George Moore Chevrolet property. Along with the residences, the developer has proposed to expand the stormwater retention pond to help mitigate runoff and flooding, such as that which occurred last November in Aquatic Gardens, and add amenities like a shaded area at the entrance to the dog park and a sidewalk leading over to the park. Tribridge Representative William Norris told the commission that the property was at one time an unregulated landfill, and there's a layer of household debris on the parcel that would have to be mitigated. He said his company is working to have the property designated a brownfield area so they can get federal assistance with that mitigation. He said the existing trees would have to be taken out for that remediation to be done, and that the developer would comply with the city's new tree ordinance and make the required payments into the tree mitigation fund for that work. Norris also said he was aware of the flooding issue in the area, having just listened to the National Weather Service presentation about the issue, but he said the plans take a 30-year flood event into account.
Obviously, we have looked at this site, understand that it's in an existing floodplain, and we'll be working within what is allowed to be done within the floodplain. So part of that leads into what we're proposing with the expansion of the retention pond. So we are providing an area for the water to go to should a flood event of similar magnitude occur. And not only are we providing a place for that water to go, we're actually providing additional capacity for the benefit of the general basin.
One of the proposals for the development is the addition of several on-street parking spaces along Aquatic Drive. Commissioner Jimmy Hill expressed concerns about the parking, but Norris explained that each of the units would have a 2-car garage and that the on-street parking was in addition to the required parking. The city's code requires 2 parking spaces for each residence. Hill also said he did not think that the drainage was sufficient and that he had concerns about the remediation of the dump.
It looks very suspicious that that might actually be just the prelude to the reason for clearing the trees completely off the lot, because it's the only excuse that I can see for not making some attempt to keep those trees and the older growth, bigger trees, because every other development in Atlantic Beach we would be putting requirements on to try and keep the trees.
Norris said that the plan complies with all of the city's zoning and other code requirements, and Tribridge would not be asking for any variances to build the townhomes. The commission did vote unanimously for the city to begin the process of working through the required permits and other issues with the developer. Neptune Beach has a new public safety director. Officer Ricky Pike has accepted the position that has been open since Police Chief David Sembach retired last year. Assistant Chief Tony Carrillo had served as interim chief until his retirement at the end of January. The council will approve Pike's appointment at its regular meeting Tuesday night, and he'll be sworn in immediately following the vote. The meeting's being held Tuesday due to the President's Day holiday on Monday. And Neptune Beach has issued a request for proposals, or RFP, for its residential and commercial waste hauling contract. The city's current contract with Waste Pro is set to expire on May 31st. And the City Council determined last year that it would be better to go ahead and bid out the contract rather than extend it while it negotiated with the City of Jacksonville over tipping fees. Neptune Beach is asking potential waste haulers to propose both 5- and 7-year contracts for the collection of residential and commercial solid waste, recycling, and yard waste, as well as transportation and disposal fees. When Atlantic Beach negotiated its trash collection contract last year, Republic Services was awarded the contract after they agreed to include payments of the city's tipping fees to the City of Jacksonville, with no increase to the city or its residents. Well, when we come back, National Weather Service forecasters analyze flooding in Atlantic Beach. This is the Island Times News Update.
The news you can count on. The Island Times News Update will be right back.
Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning in Atlantic Beach offers a full range of residential and commercial heating and air conditioning services, from new installation to replacement and remodeling. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning can keep your home comfortable year-round, and they offer preventive maintenance contracts to keep your system running at peak efficiency. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning is an authorized Bryant dealer and will service all brands. For year-round comfort in your home or business, contact the original Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning at 241-1788. Beaches Academy Child Care Center in Jacksonville Beach has been offering affordable, loving child care to families in the Beaches communities for 35 years. Conveniently located on Penman Road, Beaches Academy offers care for children from infants through preschool, with programs that encourage learning and outdoor play. Our affordable tuition means families can get quality child care at a price that fits their budget. Contact Beaches Academy at 246-3885 and schedule a tour of our center. Beaches Academy, the child always comes first.
Welcome back to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. The flooding that occurred last November in the Aquatic Gardens neighborhood in Atlantic Beach was not an unprecedented event, according to the National Weather Service. 2 local NWS meteorologists made a presentation to the Atlantic Beach Commission at their regular meeting Monday night to explain the weather aspects of the event that caused damage to many homes in the Aquatic Garden neighborhood. National Weather Service forecaster Ben Nelson said that the area of the neighborhood that flooded is only 7 feet or less above sea level, and that when nearly 6.5 inches of rain fell in less than a day, with 4.5 inches of that coming in about 2 hours, at a time when the tide was coming in, any drainage system would have been overwhelmed, Nelson said. But the event was not unprecedented. When the homeowner at 720 Aquatic Drive pulled back damaged carpet in their Aquatic Gardens townhome, they discovered 93 flood written on the concrete slab. The meteorologist stressed that they were not engineers and were not addressing the commission to offer recommendations about how drainage could be changed or improved, but to let them know what the conditions were that led to the flood event. They did say it appeared to have happened in the past, and that similar rainfall totals will occur about once every 10 years. The Neptune Beach City Council will again discuss an ordinance to allow backyard hens in some residential neighborhoods in the city where they're currently prohibited. The ordinance for a pilot program is being sponsored by Vice Mayor Richard Arthur. It would allow the city to issue 25 permits to homeowners who wish to keep hens in their backyards. The City of Jacksonville approved such an ordinance 2 years ago, and Arthur initially proposed the pilot program in April of 2014. At that time, the council decided not to pursue the idea. The ordinance would place restrictions on where chicken coops could be placed on a person's property and would not allow the chickens to be out of the enclosures. A building permit would be required for the chicken coops. The ordinance would only allow 5 chickens on any property and no roosters. The monthly Classic Car Cruise will be held next Tuesday evening in Jacksonville Beach. The event draws classic cars from all over the region for display, and then an evening cruise is held on First Street. And the 3rd annual Community First Music Festival has been set for February 27th at the Seawalk Pavilion. The event runs from noon till 8 p.m. on Saturday and features local musicians, artists, food vendors, and more. The North Beaches Art Walk rolls around again on Thursday, February 18th. Local artists line the street from the beach's town center for this monthly event, and many local merchants stay open late. And in connection with Art Walk, artist Linda Olson will be creating original work with a theme of By the Sea at the Adelgrage Cultural Center in Atlantic Beach. Olson will perform live painting demonstrations during a reception from 5 till 8 p.m.
The news you can count on. Mayport to Ponte Vedra Beach, forecasting your beaches. This is your local look weather.
Well, the National Weather Service says we can expect a chilly weekend, but then a little warmer on President's Day and into the middle of the week. Highs will be in the 50s over the weekend, warming into the 60s next week. Lows will dip as low as the low 40s. The Island Times is always digital, always free at www.theislandtimes.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to be the first to know about stories posted to the Island Times. I'm Tom Patton. Thanks for watching.